What it is, duh. It's your boy Crook LDB Team 100. It is sure. And today we got another reaction video, man. This is where are LeBron James' high school teammates now? Now, I recently actually just watched the LeBron James, the old documentary. I think it's called More Than a Game. I recently watched that. The documentary was cool for real. Yeah, I watched it like 15 years later, but it was cool. It was cool. I definitely liked it. So this is a story about, or a video about where they're at now. Real quick, I want to thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. We are at 613 now. We are on the 700 sub grind. You feel me? So without further ado, we gonna get right into it.
That right there is LeBron James. You might have heard of him before. He was the first pick of the 2003 NBA draft, and ever since, he's been playing basketball at an all-time great level. Some even say he's the best to ever do it. But you already knew about all that. So let's take a step back. Let's rewind to a simpler time. A time where Kobe, Duncan, and Kevin Garnett were the faces of the league, and LeBron was just a mere up-and-comer in high school. People might forget it now, but it wasn't just LeBron that made this St. Vincent St. Mary's high school team.
I ain't gonna lie, I wish I would've.
As a matter of fact,
well, I can't even say it would have been dope to actually go to like his high school. I know his high school games was lit. I know it was.
Five. But you don't know these other guys' names, do you? So what happened to them? Did any of them end up in the NBA with LeBron? How has their relationship changed with James? If it even has at all. Let's dive into these questions and learn the true stories of Drew Joyce III, Willie McGee, Cian Cotton, and Romeo Travis, the four other guys that shared the court with LeBron all those years back. Our story starts off when LeBron was in middle school, when he led his AAU team to nationals. On that team with LeBron were McGee, Cotton, and Joyce, and the four formed a close friendship. They called themselves the Fab Four, and they all promised with each other that when the time came for high school, they'd all choose the same one to go to. And in the year 2000, that very thing happened. LeBron controversially chose to go to St. Vincent St. Mary's High School, and the rest of the Fab Four followed right behind him. All four of them made varsity team as freshmen, but only LeBron got playing time. Now, that would all change when, in the state championship, Drew Joyce hit 7 straight threes in a row in
I remember the documentary.
Minutes to
he was in like a
game
little bit of
high
trouble.
School. Suddenly, LeBron's boys were starting to get both respect and minutes. In year number 2, a new guy joined town. His name was Romeo Travis, and he soon would become close friends with LeBron and his crew. All of a sudden, the Fab Four now turned into the Fab Five.
So here's the thing, right? I feel like now that LeBron James is in like a legend status right now, I feel like he can take care. Well, I wouldn't say take care of him, but like I'm pretty sure like he still like goes out. They probably do like pro-am runs and stuff like that. You feel me? Just to run like the old days type shit. I'm pretty sure they still run with LeBron. But it will be interesting to see, like, because I do know the small guy. I forgot his name. I do know in the documentary, like, he was getting into, like, a whole bunch of, like, legal trouble. So
his 3 years with St.
hopefully
Vincent
over the years, LeBron kind of, like,
averaged
try to
17
talk
points
to him.
and 11 rebounds. Drew Joyce was just as
Drew,
great
that's his
as
name,
the
Drew.
team's starting point guard. And Cian Cotton was the team's starting center for years, while also being an accomplished football player. Willie McGee wasn't quite as successful. He mainly was a bench guy, but he still got minutes from time to time. In 2003, the Fab Five played their final game together, and they left off on a high note. They won the state championship in a packed stadium on national television. And at the end of it all, you can see the crew dancing and celebrating together as they embrace their final moments as teammates. This could have been the end of it all, but instead, the crew has kept in touch. You see, the king still never forgot his high school friends. He still regularly tweets at them and has posted pictures of them hanging out together as recently as 2019. Obviously, he's a very busy man, and his work forces them to stay apart for most of the year, but at this point, the other guys have also all settled into their grown adult lives, and have also all found success in their lives as well. So, let's go down the list of what they do. Let's start with Willie McGee, who, after all the insanity that went down in high school, moved away from all the glamour and into a small college in West Virginia. He earned his master's degree, then returned to St. Vincent St. Mary's to become an assistant basketball coach. He's now the school's head of athletics. And out of the five, he definitely lives the most normal life of them all. Cian Cotton went to college at Ohio State on a football scholarship, but he only played 4 games. Since then, the man has become a rapper, and has dropped 2 mixtapes, Black Moth and Coming Home. His song Almost Home was even on the NBA 2K14 soundtrack. In 2015, he got LeBron himself to feature on one of his tracks. Take a listen.
Roll with us, cause you know we got it. We got it. Roll with us, cause you know we got it. We got it. It's a damn shame that you ever doubted. Come roll with us, cause you know we got it.
Yep, while LeBron
did a remake of that Rick Ross
trying to beat a 67-win
Rick Ross. That was Jay-Z.
He was also hopping on his childhood friends' songs. This video only has 20,000 views. For a song with a LeBron verse, this hidden gem just never took off for some reason. Personally, I think LeBron did a pretty good job. Drew Joyce is the next guy up, and as the little guy of the group, he had always been doubted. If you look at early pictures with the Fab Four, Joyce is noticeably tiny, and barely any colleges wanted him, even though he was a high school star. He was,
and I just let you know how hard it is, bro. Like, just look at some of like the very, very little basketball players. Like, first and foremost, Muggsy Bogues, he pretty much made that doubt a reality that I can still be a small size and still play ball. So he made that. So he kind of broke the window for everybody. But a lot of NBA teams still don't take like the prototypical small guard serious. Like, look at Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is a bucket. Wherever he's go, Isaiah Thomas gonna get you a bucket. He's a liability on defense though. If you look at a lot of point guards are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", 6'11", in Ben Simmons' case. Like, a lot of the primary ball handlers are big. So like, there's always going to be this notion that we should not ever draft a small point guard. Some of them are buckets though, bro. Isaiah Thomas is a bucket. You feel me? Like,
Akron University and worked his way up until he was their starting point guard for 3 straight years.
I feel like if you just put some muscle on, you'll be alright.
4 assists and shot 43% from 3 in his 4 years at Akron. But when he declared for the 2007 NBA draft, he unfortunately did go undrafted. In 2009, he got a spot on the Cavaliers Summer League team and played 4 games and put up 8 minutes, 1 point, and 1 assist. This was the point in time where rumors started of LeBron leaving Cleveland, so I think this move was just a desperate attempt to convince the king to stay. But who knows, maybe they actually saw something in Drew, and in an alternate universe, him and LeBron would reunite with the Cavs for good. Although that's clearly not what happened, Joyce had been doubted countless times before at every level, and it had never stopped him. He then traveled to Europe and played 12 years overseas, finally retiring in 2020. Crazily enough, his career was almost as long as LeBron's. Lastly is Romeo Travis, the best one of the bunch not named LeBron James. Travis joined Joyce at Akron University and put up 12 points and 6 rebounds per game. After the duo played all 4 years of college together, Travis bounced around to just about every European European country you can think of to play pro ball. He went from Germany to Israel to Croatia to Ukraine to Russia to the Philippines to France, all the way to Italy. And he's been extremely dominant in most of the places he's gone to. And even LeBron can't help but recognize this as well on his socials. Travis and LeBron have been dubbed the closest of the group since they left high school, and the two have been pictured working out together multiple times pretty recently. As of right now, Travis is playing for a Philippines.
It's nice to see that all of them are doing well.
Wait
though.
for it, the Jeep Elite. Man, I wish NBA teams had sponsored names like this. Could you imagine rooting for the Los Angeles Range Rovers? I don't know why, but I feel like I just need that in my life. So that's where LeBron's 4 closest childhood teammates are today.
Like you hear a lot of
times success.
Like a lot of times when let's say for instance you grew up in a hood, right? Everyone, for the most part, like as far as the inner city is concerned, everybody grew up in a hood, bro. A lot of times in high school, some people only play basketball to stay out of trouble. Some people really pursue a basketball career. Some people really just use that as an outlet to do other things. You feel me? To get more notoriety out there. Like, there's plenty of ways you could play basketball. But for all of them to play basketball, and one of the members of your group is known as one of the best basketball players in this generation, arguably on everyone's top 5, and for everyone to still be on a normal path and things like that, I feel like that's definitely dope, especially as black men. You feel me? Like, we got a target on our back. So the fact that these men have been doing their thing in their own way, I appreciate it. You feel what I'm saying? I definitely think that that's dope. I definitely think that, like I said, the guy Drew, like I said, he was in legal trouble in the documentary. So especially him, for him to be standing out the way, that's definitely dope, bro. Like, for real.
But never enough for any of us normies to take notice. Still, for a bunch of kids that grew up in a rough neighborhood, all of them have done very well for themselves. And LeBron's loyalty to these friends is very clear. We all know that he never hesitates to find a chance to bring up that he's from Akron, and that pride he has extends to all of those within Akron as well. Because LeBron wasn't supposed to make it. For years, he was just another kid struggling to find his next meal. And now that he's at the top and everybody wants to be his friend, he holds those that supported him before he was anything even closer. He could have just shrugged them off and continued with his celebrity life. But that is not the type of person LeBron is. And that is something truly inspiring. Thank you all so much for watching this video.
That's dope, bro. I'm glad that everyone is doing their thing, though. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the video. I am out. Peace.